So, when it comes to you might be sat there pretty concerned at the state of the UK. You know, the billions spent and all of the changes to society. But whilst you're thinking that, you might also be thinking that it's turning into a bit of a comedy, isn't it? You must admit, it's just getting funnier by the day. And I will receive a comment like every couple of weeks to say, this isn't a funny subject. Why do you find it funny? And truth be told, I don't actually think that there's one funny article that we've discussed. It really is awful. They're changing our society. They're giving our money away left, right and centre. The national debt clock is just unbelievable, as you can see on screen. And we've got a government which they're absolutely not working for the people. So you might be sat there thinking to yourself, clown, why do you find it funny? And I can only speak from personal experience, right? But the way that I watch the news, maybe I'm just very disconnected. But the way I watch the news is it's kind of like a TV show. It's just entertainment. And as awful as it sounds, it really does sound bad. I want to see some good TV. I'll always have fond memories with my dad. And he does watch this channel, so he might watch this one. But any time that it's going to sound awful. But we'd sit there and we'd watch live hurricane footage on Fox News back in the day. We'd make an evening out of it. And we'd just flick through them and CNN. Just watching live hurricane and riots as well. You just want to see good TV, don't you? Same I hate to say it. Same with it's natural disasters. The thing that, I'll tell you a story actually. The thing that got me into the news, right? So it was 2011. So we had the Japanese, it's awful. I will admit. But we had the Japanese tsunami. And that really got me hooked. That was 2011. But in the same year, we also had the London riots as well. You remember them? That was good too. Honestly, coming back from school, or maybe college at the time, I'm not quite sure. I'm trying to think myself then. But just watching those 2 or 3 nights and then it fizzled out. Don't get me wrong. Awful to see our capital city, as well as other cities. I don't know why the other cities chimed in. All of the cities, it's nothing to do with them. They're like, yeah, it was a riot as well. What? It's made for good TV though. And then you had the people posting. They were posting pictures of it on social media, on Facebook. It would just be them in front of all of the stuff that they've robbed. It's all right, well done. But again, it's great entertainment. There's people out there that would rather watch EastEnders than this. Do you know what I mean? We got fights in the middle of the street and they're like, oh, no, I need to find out what happens on Emmerdale. I'm come on. And like I said, I really just want to see some good TV. I will admit, it is a shame that it's real people involved. Whenever there's a, natural disaster, I always hope that people I'm not sat there with popcorn. Sat there with popcorn rooting for the worst. No. I like the toll to be 0, but I just want to see some theatrics. Ideally, the cost would be 0. If it was 0 on the toll and 0 on the cost, but we got to see some interesting clips, I could definitely get on board with that one. And don't get me wrong, right? Some of the stuff that we do see is funny. It's not all doom and gloom. It's not all natural disasters. You imagine that. Before those days, I was like, well, why would anyone watch the news? To me, I'll be honest, to me, it was boring. But we had the tsunami and we had the London riots in the same year. And I think it was the year after that was Libya. It could have been the same year. Let me check. Yeah, same year. And I remember watching that one as well. That was incredible. So that year, 2011, that got me into the news. And it got me in specifically because I was like, I was sat there watching stuff like Armageddon. I was watching The Rock. Great films. Incredible films. I was like, this is happening in real life. And we've got footage. I might just flick on Sky News from time to time. Then there was things like Costa Concordia. Again, terrible. You don't mess with the sea. Your good friend Mike Brady from Ocean Liner Designs will tell you that one. Don't mess with the sea. But to see the Costa Concordia, wow, I was watching that all night. I remember I was watching Sky News when the thing turned yellow. When it turns black and yellow when something's about to come in. And they were like, we got a sinking ship. And I was like, oh, do we now? Do we? Oh, it's all coming out today, isn't it? This is awful. Getting all my skeletons out of the closet today. But the point that I wanted to make, right, is that before I went off on a nostalgic tangent of 2011, oh man, I'd go back to those days. So we had Libya, London, the Japanese suit, that was Man, that was mad. I still watch footage of it to this day. I also checked, so we had, in 2011, we had the Bin Laden situation where they took him out, and then we had the Egyptian uprising as well. I don't know if it was the first or the second. I'm guessing it was the first one. But yeah, that was a great year for TV. I mean news. You know what I mean? I did it. You see what I mean? But I'll give you this example here, right? This to me is hilarious. It's awful, but it's hilarious. It's going to cost us so much money. Just millions. But it's hilarious. So it says, Sir Keir Starmer. We're just going to call him Keir Starmer. In fact, can we? Look at this. Check this one out. Oh, no. Oh, is that legal? I don't know. You tell me. An emoji's enough to get you done these days, so I don't know what that is. But it says that Keir Starmer plans to send failed asylum seekers abroad in his latest bid to crack down on illegal immigration. And you might be thinking to yourself, sounds a bit like the Rwanda plan. And truth be told, it is, because it says that he was in talks to create return hubs overseas for those who have exhausted their options to stay in the UK. So that's the Rwanda plan. He was anti that. He couldn't stand it. Half his party as well. In fact, all of his party. David Lammy and everyone. They could not stand the Rwanda plan. They said, oh, it's awful, inhumane, terrible, not cool, you know? Cringe. But now they want to sit there and create the Albania plan. Like, come on. That's funny. That's what politics is for. Just seeing people flip-flop all over the place, just 180. Like, you can't send them to Rwanda. And then about a year into power, he's like, what about Albania? We asked Albanian Alan. Get him on the phone. Get him on the phone. 5 million? Yeah. Send it. That to me is funny. It's, like I said, it's just a shame that it's at the expense of our country. And also at the expense of our wallets as well. All at the cost of getting, 1.5 Albanian people out of the country, only to come back later with more of them. It's awful. I shouldn't laugh. But I don't know, what? Anger? I don't know. We'll have to see. I think if I go down that route, maybe one day you'll see me on the news. Oh no. And before I say anything which could incriminate me, I would have to say thank you for watching. And thank you for putting up with me while I get it all off my chest. I really do watch it like entertainment. It's better than TV. You know, they're like, have you seen Game of Thrones? It's like, it's done. You know, it's like, I guess like I'd have fond memories if I watch it. Might be quite fun. I did enjoy watching Breaking Bad. I thought that was a great TV show. But, I don't know, has it added anything? I don't know, I can't tell you. But watching the news, tsunamis, Libya, London, Bin Laden, come on. We've got the whole crew. Everyone's there. What a year. Maybe it skewed my mind, I'm not quite sure. But I'll leave you to it, and have a great day.
This country has gone crazy.